Peace and grand rising to the sovereign, original, indigenous, natural, divine heirs. Today is 3/3, and here on the west, it's 3 p.m. So we have the threes going on. 2024 on the ancient moon calendar, 2024 on the ancient sun calendar, and 2024 on the Greco-Roman civic calendar. All rise and stand and remain standing into perpetuity. And according to the ancient Noahide laws as stated by this Holy Congress, this is a sovereign living ancient Article 3, Moorish American Al-Moroccan Universal Court action. We are the divine sovereign living justices, and Eggleston Pauline Denise Ritchie, my free chosen sovereign appellation is Light Tajiri Bay. All are in capitis diminution nolo, in red ink, in propria persona sui juris, in proprio solo, and in proprio heredes. We are capit et corpus juris legalis, which is our statement that we are the lawful and legal natural head and body for our empire. All Moors are the divine, original, indigenous, sovereign, ancient, Al-Moroccan, Moorish American ascendants of the great pharaohs of Kemet, and of the ancient Moabites, Canaanites, Israelites, Hamathites, Cushites, and Hittites. Our full faith and trust, our allegiance, our honor, our credit, and our energy are hereby vested in ourselves, for we are the people who are the original indigenous, natural divine, sovereign ancient empire state for Morocco. We're the de jure Moorish National Republic federal government. We are ancient Washington District for Columbia. We are the Universal Moorish American Consulate and the Earthwide Article 3 Moorish American Consular Court. Today, we are demonstrating the law by our sovereign status, which is the original indigenous, natural divine, sovereign ancient Article 3 living United States District 4 Columbia Court. And we are the sovereign fiduciaries, original creditors, executors, trustees, divine ministers, possessors, grantors, grantors, and title trustors for all causes for action. We are peace. We are one nation, one state, one empire, and one God. We hereby recognize ourselves and accept our sovereign ascension. We do hereby possess in our custody all land, all natural resources, and all commerce. We, the true living God nation, are not at war, and we hereby exercise and demonstrate all eternal, ancient, original sovereign rights at this time and at all points in time, nunc pro tunc. The principles that we share, along with our sovereign, powerful demonstrations and study, are stare decisis, res judicata, an ancient positive supreme law for the land long established in sovereign order. Erudite principles and processes for daily practical application to intelligently govern our vast estate every day is what our ancient ancestors have given us to share with the ancient sovereign nations, tribes, clans, states, and governments at earth. And for this, we are grateful. First and foremost, we are hoping that everyone had the opportunity to see House of Reawakening Minds this past Friday, where our Grand Sheikh Taj Tariq Bey and Empress Dr. Nyala Gilliam L. were sharing some information. And we put the link to that video in the chat. We do honor both our Grand Sheikh and Dr. G for the wisdom that they share with us each and every month. What our Grand Sheikh spoke about, again, everything that he says is just affirmation of what we talk about. It's affirmation. That affirmation that he spoke about this past Friday, the title was Heir Identity Crisis, Why We Are Confused About Who We Are. And we know that we're not confused. We know who we are. Generally, his teachings are for specifically the new Moors and those who still think that they are Negro, Black, colored, African American, and so on and so forth. You know, those who think that they are that. We know that we're not those titles. We have a nationality, and we also have we're the heirs to everything. We know that already. With that being stated, just a moment. Let me. So what he was talking about was one thing out of the many things that he stated was that those who are teaching or sharing information, in our case, should be talking about the rules of heritability and the qualified conditions for heritability. We should not be talking about reparations because that has nothing to do. We're not trying to repair a dead system. So that's why we don't even talk about reparations, because that's not a thing for us. We talk about heritability and how do we manifest the inheritance of our vast estate? How do we do that? And we absolutely agree with our Grand Sheikh with what he stated. Let me make sure. Okay, that was not me. So just one moment. Let me clear this up really quickly as well. And put the link in the chat. There. Again, the second link is the proper link. That other link is not. That's not us. So with that being stated, the rules of heritability have everything to do with true nationality, not Negro, Black, colored, and African American. And then the legal system manifests, is a manifest. The legal system allows the manifestation of our inheritance to be seen. Lawfully, we are already manifesting who we really are. And so we just, what we've been doing is definitely stating the rules of heritability, the laws of heritability, and putting forth on the public record the qualified conditions, because there are some. In the past, Moors Moors were stating that, yes, they know they're the heirs and they shouldn't have to do all of this, but in reality, because we are so highly advanced, it is important that we demonstrate who we are by the systems, because we're the ones who put the systems in place in the first place, lawful and legal, universal, and all of that. So with that being stated, just one moment. It is the Congress is open for those who are willing to come in as well. With that being stated, yes, we have inherited a lot of money and resources. That's already done. We've already inherited all of that. That's not a secret. Everybody knows that. No one's arguing anything differently. And so, Moors, now that we know who we are, and we know, that we have access to our vast estate. Just one moment. Access to our vast estate. The question that we have is thus: what are your top 3 priorities concerning what to do with your banking system wealth? So we are all continuing Some have already fully manifested their wealth. Others are still in the process of doing that. If someone, and I can't say gave you $100 million, but now that you've accessed it, what are you going to do with your wealth? What are you going to do with it? That's a question. Let us open the meeting. Just one moment. Just a moment. So the last link is the one that I put in the chat. Here, I'm putting it in there right now. It's on. Those other links is not me. But we booted the imposter. So with that being stated, the question is, what is the top 3 things that you would do with your wealth? Anyone, just name one thing, 1 or 2 things that you would do with your wealth.
Well, you're sure not going to get a Land Rover.
Go ahead.
Noble Phoenix here. First and foremost, I'm going to secure myself and my immediate family, because you have to be grounded in order to do this work. You cannot do this, all of the work that we have ahead of us.
And you're not going to get those multiple.
Without first grounding oneself. It's like the same thing that they tell you when you're in a plane. As soon as, if there's an emergency, when the oxygen masks come down, secure yourself.
Where's
first.
all them conveyances you wanted, Negro?
I didn't hear anything.
Go ahead, keep going, Nobility.
And then I can secure others. But first, you must secure yourself. And then I do have a plan that I am working, and that includes not just doing that.
If you get a real job, you'll get a real check.
Good moment.
Just say.
Go ahead, Nobility.
Then the work that needs to be done involves getting the ministry set up. There is so much work to be done. I'm just looking at the last set of levies that I just did. And it involves 300 or 400 companies. All right. And when I first started, I had no idea it was going to evolve into that as I started looking into all of the affiliate companies, LLCs, and how big the organization really was. So, I'm going to need assistance. So I need to open up a consulate office to work from, where I'm going to have additional clerical help. Because I really don't want to do all that printing by myself. I need a full staff. And that's right in line with what the prophet said. You're going to need 12 secretaries. And I ain't even start talking about those who want to proclaim their nationality yet. Yeah. Nor have I started talking about the travel ministry yet, that I'm setting up. Not to mention just all the court orders. There's a lot of work to be done. Yeah. So there is there is a will to have a tremendous amount of additional assistance to make sure that we get this work done with quality and efficiency. I yield.
Indeed. Islam Nobility.
I think the first thing you should do is manage your account, keep ledgers, and then keep ledgers, manage ledgers, and then you do your commerce.
Islam, indeed.
Islam.
Indeed. All important. All of those are important. Islam Nobility.
Islam, Tonis Alajabe, Khalifa Territory. Well, I'm going to be busy. There's a bunch of things I'm going to do. Restart the trades. Establish the Unified School District has died here, so we're going to restart it and actually teach erudite. And I have an erudite library, by the way. I do entertainment. I did an event here 13 years in a row without funds. Well, now I got funds. I'm going to make it into an annual event. And I'm going to fund a bunch of things that, I have seen people doing that are really great. Hempcrete, building buildings with hemp. Car manufacturer with the same hemp, with that oil. There's a bunch of things that I've looked at, and I'm going to fund some things that will change society. So And it starts with property acquisition. That's why I'm learning how to do this. So we are going to have a bank relatively soon. Don't worry, I'm going to video all of it. So the seizure, the takeover, everything. So get ready for that. And to the trolls, I want to say,
Justice Thomas, don't go there with them. They know what time it is. That's why they troll. Islam.
Islam, I have a question.
Islam.
Yes, my name is Zanir Zamu Hotsep. I'm a artist, a clothing artist, and you was talking about how to nationalize your clothing line.
Mm-hmm.
What is the proper procedure of how to do that?
The proper procedure to how to do that is to go back and look at the videos that we've placed on the public record at Tajiri Bay channel, because if those are going to be very important in terms of nationalizing your business. You must first be nationalized, and
I'm already nationalized already.
Okay. The same way you nationalize yourself is the same way you nationalize your business. It happens on paper, and you state the status of your business. You place liens on anything from the previous era. So it's all the same. It's a formula. The same things that you did for you do it for your business. Same things. Exact same. Because your business has a name, right?
Yes, it's called Zeneria Apparel.
Okay. That needs to be nationalized, judicial proclamation, a lien on the old so that no one from the last era can attempt to tax your business. You nationalize your business the same way you did yourself.
Okay, but
you could practically use the same documents. Just put the name of your business there.
I see what you mean. Also, I'm a spiritual healer too. So you were asking questions, what would we do with our money or whatever?
Yeah.
So I'm a spiritual practice also.
Islam.
I'm here in Sedona, Arizona. Is anybody know where I'm at? Guess where I'm at right now?
Islam. So you're right out there where a lot of our ancient monuments are.
Yeah, the Grand Canyon. I want to get into the Grand Canyon, but they won't let nobody in there, sister.
They're not going to let you in there until you know exactly how to present yourself. Any of us could go there and could go to any parts there.
Right.
Whenever we're ready, because we are the treaty nation. It's just a matter of.
Does Shasha or Angel suck your dick better, Pauline? Which?
Okay, I have another question about the bonds.
Yes.
I'm still supposed to be getting my bonds with the Old Mac Moorish out of Arkansas, but I haven't got that. Should I still go in that direction and retrieve my bonds?
So I don't know. I don't know who you're dealing with in that territory. We don't know. However, it's not. However, you have the authority to create your own bonds. You don't have to wait for anyone else to issue anything to you. You're the government. You should be issuing it to yourself first.
Oh, okay. Well, how would I go about doing that?
There's a video that we did. It's 47 minutes. It's called the Post Office Lien, Levy, and Bond.
Yeah. I think I heard that one last week. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so what you'll do is follow that format, and you produce your own documents. You write your own documents. You stamp and seal your own documents, and then you put them on the public record, and then notify. Again, once you nationalize your business, then you lien, levy, and bond, and all of that. That same process. It's the same process. It's the same formula for everything.
Oh, wow.
Because, see, it's all about finance, really.
Right.
It was about commerce. And you must claim and state your own commerce in in trust, of course, with all of us. But when you do those documents, it's going to we're all in trust and we're supporting what you do anyway.
Right.
And then gold, silver, and more sovereign dollarium is our way of doing things. And we started taking in gold, silver, and more sovereign dollarium en masse in just high quantities and amounts. And so that is how we do business. We don't use fiat Federal Reserve debt notes, but we do have a little something that we're going to show today that we've spoken about in the past regarding other businesses, not yours. With your business and with any businesses that are Moorish businesses, anything nationalized, we use gold, silver, and more sovereign dollarium. Okay, so with that being stated, does that answer your question in a way that you know how to do that? Again, nationalizing.
Yes, it does. I yield.
Yes, nationalizing and then lien, levy, bond, that process. And again, we've done videos that make that a very step-by-step process. The same way you nationalize yourself is the way you nationalize the names of your businesses. And that's going to put it in a different jurisdiction.
Islam.
And under your sovereign authority.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Islam.
Islam.
Justice Earl. Islam.
May I connect with that noble, if he wouldn't mind us sharing information that I might communicate with you along the lines of some things that you've shared?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. My email is on the screen, as you see there, and I'm looking for yours. Is there I think yours is a number. Is it the 541?
Oh no, is you're looking for the email or my appellation?
Let's do the email.
The email is ASTROZON333@gmail.com.
Okay, it's going to be STROZON333@gmail.com.
No, it's ASTROZON333@gmail.com. It's astrozon333@gmail.com.
Okay, I have it. I'll send you a tester out while we're on the platform.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And also know this, that you know, Moors, and this is for all Moors, it does not matter what platform you come on. When you connect with Moors on any platform, it doesn't matter what the platform is, it doesn't matter who's coordinating that platform. Always still use your own discernment. Don't just assume that they have that everything that you're given is you don't have to filter the information. You must still let your spirit guide you at all times, first and foremost. Okay? Even things that you hear from us, let your spirit be your first authority. Because that's really what this is all about, is connecting with the ancient ancestral energies within you, because you don't have a leader. You lead yourself. So all Moors know that your holy sovereign filter within your spirit is always, I don't care what anyone says, I don't care what's coming out of their mouth, you must filter it and let your true center guide you on what to do and how to do. And then you always, and I'll say this too, if anyone is asking you for fiat, no, that's not, no, no, that's not how we do business. For any processes or anything, if they're asking you for fiat, say no and run. Run, because the spirit will the Spirit will show you how to do whatever it is you will to do. You know, we learned that early on as well. You know, not that anyone here on this platform would mislead you, but still your spirit must be first, no matter who's speaking. And here's the thing, any platform worth its salt will tell you to let your spirit lead you first. So, you know, yes, make the connections fearlessly. Fearlessly connect with everyone. Do that. And then let your spirit do the rest. We're never afraid to connect with others. And it doesn't even matter who they are. They can be subjects. They can be foreigners. We're not afraid to connect with anyone because we're going to handle it the same way. It's a formula. We do our court actions, ask names, and so on and so forth. And then among the Moors, we just speak and let our own spirit guide us, first and foremost. Then, you know, yes, we listen and hear what others have to say. Of course we do. We're unafraid of that. In fact, that is a great way to do things, is to listen to all others. That's why we don't ever say, hey, don't listen to this one or that one. We don't, unless it's a foreign something. But even then, everything is a resource for us. So no matter who's talking, we're going to get something out of it, and we're going to either trash the rest or set the rest aside, because our sovereign filter is always working. It's always working. And we don't take anyone's word for anything. We actually do the work ourselves. Then
your costume looks as meager as your bank account, Pauline.
Then we affirm what is being stated. You know, one thing that we love is that our Grand Sheikh Taj Tariq Bey was the first one to say that. He always says, don't take my word for it, do your own research. We affirm. And we do that. And we state that all do the same. And here's the thing. I don't speak for Grand Sheikh Taj, and no one speaks for me. I speak for myself. So if you want to know anything that Light is saying, and Light said this and Light said that, just ask. I'm right here. I'm always going to be here. This is our land. This is our earth. We'll be here forever. Always been here, always will be. With that being stated,
because she knows now the shit's going to work, and she's got.
So, again, top 3 priorities for us. The number 1 priority is to open the doors for all others in every way. That's what we're doing with our estate and with our wealth. We're opening the doors for all others in every way that we're inspired to do so, starting with ensuring that everyone is properly identified on the public record.
Opening the door all the way down.
By introducing them to themselves. The tools to continue this work are a top priority now that we have access to our banking system. So what are we looking at? We're looking at things to better put that out there, to let others know that, yes, you must be properly identified on the land, to let others know that yes, it's about status and nationality. And we're using the tools, and now we're able to bring other, equipment and tools and things in now, because we can access our estate in that manner. And we would encourage everyone to do the same. See, here's the thing. The more people that we introduce to themselves, the quicker everything happens for us, the more our government grows quickly. And so that's why that's our top priority is, yes, we like the big domiciles and we like the conveyances and things, all of that stuff. All those things are already added unto us. Our top priority is our brothers and sisters. and them knowing who they are, and them being able to access their inheritance also, because they have creativity that they're bringing to the table as well. So with that being stated, we're going to go ahead and share our screen. Islam. So again, opening the doors for all others in every way is how we're using our wealth. So whatever equipment or energy or whatever it is, we're going to use it to open the doors for all others. Islam. Another question. Now that we have abundant banking systems, resources, and wealth that we've accessed, and this is that same question, but it's made more specific. What are some of the daily active ways that we can open the doors for all others to prosper? Some of the daily things that we can do. And you can star 6.
Islam,
Empress.
Dasha Ann Bay, Jamaica Territory.
Islam.
One of the ways is on a daily basis, everyone you speak to, everyone you talk to, speak to them about nationality.
Yes.
Share that information. That's a given, and I do every day. But that's a given. But of course, with the funding, you can expand on that. And you know, that can be done in many ways, whether that's out in person, on the phone, set up. There's now, with access to the funding, the ability to focus on their platforms or different ways to reach the people, because that financial piece is more secure. You can focus on the purpose that each one of us were brought here to get out that information.
Yes.
Open the doors. So that's definitely on a daily basis that can be done.
Indeed.
Islam,
Empress.
Continuing to, when we rise each day, continuing to thank the ancestral energies, the energies within ourselves, being grateful, continuing to reflect on all that we've learned, all of our demonstrations, all that we state here at our Congress, and just continue to move forward, being grateful. Islam.
Indeed. Yes, yes, yes. We affirm that. Daily things that we can do.
Islam.
Nobility.
Pharaoh Spike Hill from Virgin Land. We can also set ourselves out to be an example, a light of prosperity.
Yes.
When we speak, we need to speak, and when the spirit hits them, they need to be able to look and see something of value in us to them.
Yes.
So I just think we need to, yes, be expressive, but be an example of what you're talking about.
Yes.
Be an example of that.
That is
Islam.
The most important, from our perspective, the most important thing we can do is manifest and then be the example of what prosperity looks like, what our estate looks like, what our inheritance looks like. And we're moving in that direction right now. And that's why we do the demonstration, show things happening, and then show the results of that. Let me tell you, there's nothing in our way.
You can't spend the bounce check.
in our way.
No.
There's nothing in our way. Nothing can stop us. Nothing can stop us. So with that being stated, we will to show, another thing, one of the daily active ways is of course to study. Study. It's to study. There's not a thing that I can look at or see or study that I don't get something from it. Even if I'm listening to modern ones speaking and, things of that nature, I get something from it. Even if it's knowing what we're doing and the effect that what we're doing is having on the energies from the last era that we're attempting to or enacting being over us. We see in the words of those who were previously acting as government, we see that we have absolutely stood and we continue to stand, and we are the law, we are the government. We see that even in their behavior, in their enactment, So,
Islam.
Daily study. Islam. Always remember, and we're going to continuously repeat this. Islam, Empress Angel.
Yes. I just want to speak to the point that we will need, or not need, will to have the additional assistance. Though I'd like to make the point clear that the seed must start within oneself before it can branch out and have the assistance of others. Because if the seed doesn't start from within to know what, why, how it is being done competently to do for self, self-law, and master, if you go outside of yourself and have somebody else doing it, you will flourish with them and not you. So you have to take and know for yourself the paperwork, the processes, the application, so you stand on your own square for yourself before you look for assistance outside of self.
So why don't you have your conveyance, Angel Bay? Where's your conveyance, Angel? Come on, honey, where is it? Where's your fucking conveyance?
Islam.
Go ahead, Empress.
Yes, and so because it's sometimes people get caught up on that what the prophet stated about having the assistance of the secretaries and such. But we've already spoken about that in a previous Congress, that it is not for that perspective of, oh, I'm going to just have somebody else do it. And, like the past era where, I, fill out this application and somebody else mindlessly does my paperwork, and then you don't know why it's being done. You don't know what is being done. You have to know for yourself, be your own leader, be your own self, law, and master. And then if you desire assistance beyond your own creed, then you can seek the assistance.
Yeah.
But it has to start with yourself. You have to know why, this paperwork is being done for your
Love
that
the
work.
diaper on your
if you
head,
don't know
Venus.
why it's being done, how do you
Love
stand
that.
on it? That's like for all the documents we did for the fiduciary and the fiduciary and to cancel their office, the person who's acting in the office.
Yeah.
Resignation, that's the word.
Yeah.
The fiduciary resignation letters, and affidavits, that was done.
Yeah.
Like that part. If you don't know why it's being done, why do you want somebody else to do it for you? Something as simple as that, one document. If you don't know, then why will somebody else do it for you? You have to know, wait a minute, I desire this document because I know once this document is created, that's my office.
Yeah.
And see, that's the misconception that a lot of people I'm paying attention still have amongst themselves, that they don't understand exactly why that document is done. That document states that you are the fiduciary for that office. Now you must understand that office, demonstrate that office, and then know if something comes to you by way of mail, that you're supposed to demonstrate that office because you've stated that document that you're the fiduciary and they've been terminated from that office.
Yes.
And so when we think about getting assistance, that only because you can say, okay, this has to be done. Can you assist me, please? Because this, that, and the third. You can articulate the words. That's the word. Not delegate, but articulate the words for the assistance necessary. If you can't articulate the words for the words to be done, for this document to be done, you don't have the business to ask somebody else to do it for you. Because you haven't mastered it for yourself yet. Islam.
From our perspective, we just know that from people who are coming to assist us, they will over time learn and know all that we know. And so I affirm all comments that have been made thus far in terms of, yes, the assistance must be there, and then we must be good stewards of that assistance.
Mm-hmm.
We must be good stewards of that assistance.
Islam, yes, that is true, because though still some people think that, oh, I can just have somebody else do it, like in the last era, and they don't know why they're getting it done.
Yeah, that's the difference between what we're doing is we know everyone's job. Just one moment. There's a little bit of an echo or something coming from somewhere. We know everyone's job who's going to be assisting us. We already know what their job is, and we know why they're doing what they're doing. And so we're to show them why they're doing what they're doing. And then as they do that one task, we just tell them, okay, this is why this is being done. You must know why you're doing it. And you must have the same spirit about doing it that we have about doing it.
Precisely.
Y'all believe what I said is the same spirit.
Precisely. That's the same thing I just said. Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to have that understanding for yourself first.
Yeah. And they will. We already know they will, because no one comes to this with just no knowledge at all. The reason that people are attracted to what we're stating is because they have a certain frequency or level of intellect. Because this is not for the faint-hearted, or anything of that nature. But when they're ready, they'll come. They'll come and come to assist and all of that. Islam.
Getting back to your question of daily activities that we can do, one that I put in the chat was even wearing our national headdress, because that opens the door for those who are sincere, looking and wanting and have the right spirit. They will, in many cases, approach you or be open to a discussion because they see that.
Yeah.
And their curiosity will, rise from their spirit. That opens up an evidence of you being who you say you are.
Yeah.
So just the way we dress, and not just the way we conduct ourselves, but the way we dress, okay, will open up that door of opportunity.
Pampers or Huggies you got on your head, Pauline?
So that they can, join with us or start learning what they need to learn. So there's another one. Islam.
Yeah. One thing we know is that our ancestors know exactly what they're doing.
Looks like Pampers to me. Looks like a Pampers to me.
Our ancestors know what they're doing through each and every one of us, so we have no worries. Let's just keep, those that are coming to assist, they're coming. They're actually probably already here. In many cases, we have those that are already here. The one thing the ancestors showed us is to use the tools that we have around us. And so they showed me that my Empress was a tool of a particular, not a tool, but she has tools that can assist us with what we're doing. So we had to put that into place. And then my consort has.
Oh, Raisinette is a tool, all right, just like you're a tool.
Just like, and then my consort has tools in his tool chest that we can use, and just one moment. And so the ancestors were telling us, use what you have right around you first, and then once you've used those skills, then more will come. And now we see the doors opening for more and more and more to come. The ancestors generally saturate us at the level that we're at and then introduce and then open the door for the next level to come. And now we see that next level is here, So, and that happens with each and every one of us. So with that being stated, all we're doing is reminding everyone of what already is, and then we are being the proof and being the face for the government, being the face for the wealth, being the face for the inheritance. And by our court actions, we're stating in no uncertain terms that we know we're the authority on the land. So again, we're just reminding everyone of what already is. Everyone knows already. So in alignment with what Grand Sheikh Taj Tariq Bey stated about knowing the rules for heritability and ascendability and the qualified conditions for heritability, just really quickly, once you know, number one, who you are, number two, where you are, and number three, who creates the law and controls the money and the resources, then you will know what to do, you'll know what to say, you'll know where to go, you'll know when to make a movement and how to manifest your will. You will know all of that once you know those three things right there: who you are, where you are, and who creates the laws and controls the resources. Then all questions will go. You'll ask a question and the answer will immediately come to you and present itself. And actually, it will come from within you. It won't come from anywhere but within you. Who you are, where you are, and who creates the law and controls the money, you will know all that you need to know and will to know. So before you do anything, before you write anything or state anything or decide anything, we suggest that you always do a court action energetically in order to keep all the energy subdued, and they're going to stay subdued because we've all done that already, and under your sovereign, ancient, original, indigenous authority. So before I write anything, I just take a deep breath and just make some a gratitude statement to the ancestral energies within me, and I should say within us, because I'm never alone. It's always the ancestors with us, no matter where we are, what we're doing, what we're stating. We do a court action on energetically, and that court action is just gratitude and just knowing our sovereign authority. You could just, who are you, where are you, and who creates the laws and controls the money. Once you know those, your court action is done. So here's the answer to those. Who are you? We are the ancient, original, indigenous, sovereign, lords, law, gods, government, Moors, nations, states, empire. Where are we? On our ancient Al-Moroccan land, with full enjoyment of the living states united. Who created the law on this land? We did and we do, because we are the law. Who created and controls the courts, banks, money, resources, words, commerce, capitalism, and all other? We do, because we are the source for all resources. So take a screenshot of that so that you know more. Get that one in there. Islam. Rehearse this court action daily. Rehearse this information daily. Post it on your refrigerator, your desktops, your offices, your bedposts, your mirrors, your conveyances, everywhere, so that you state it often and absorb this law into your spirit eternally. Teach your heirs and all your kin who agree to know. Once you absorb this into your spirit, you will never compromise, and you will always conquer. So the key is to never compromise. So now, earlier we were speaking in one of the earlier congresses about quote unquote election year and the strategy from the previous era. Regarding election year, when we say election year, we're not even talking about foreigners. We're not talking about any other corpses and things of that nature. We're not even talking about that. We're not talking to that or about that. We are the elect. The elect. It's in the Biblios. It's in the whole, all the holy writings. It's in the Circle 7. We're the elect. We are the ones. So where election is concerned, we have encouraged you to speak for yourselves, so no one speaks for you. Even if they try to speak for you, they're not going to be able to do it. No one speaks for us. There are a few who were hoping that you specifically, did not use your voice on the public record, because they would have had a job had you stayed muted. They would have been able to program the system to do as they wished instead of your will being done. Why is election year so important? Because those who do not exist might have been able to earn an existence or earn a living by representing those who have voluntarily muted themselves from the public record. This is why your statements, your voice, your words, your writings, your affidavits, your documents are so important to publish and put it out there. To campaign is to attempt to be the voice for those who choose to remain silent. That's why they run a campaign. It's movement for those who are not moving. See, corpses do not move. The living, there's always movement. Even in our sleep, we were moving because we're the living. And so that's why they call it running for office. Okay, because they're imitating the movement and the energy moving around and the frequency, because movement raises frequency in one way or another, or changes frequency. Movement changes frequency. So to campaign is to attempt to be the voice for those who choose to remain silent. Those who speak, which is to author the narrative for those who are silent, and act earning the authority to program the system. However, when we speak, we are automatically programming the system. All algorithms respond to the living and not the dead. Those who program the system get to choose the commercial tools by which their will is manifested by the system. We get to choose the tools by which commerce is done because we keep speaking. Campaign issues are brought up so that those who choose not to speak can be represented by those running for office. So again, that was in the last era. In this era, there's no need to run because we're here. Every one of us is already the president. Every one of us is already the offices. All offices belong to us already. Allegiance, truth, and innocence is recognized by the voice of those who have alleged to have committed a crime. So when we talk about the word allegiance, the root word of allegiance is allege. That means that allegiance must be shown. There has to be a court action in order for allegiance to be shown, because there's some allegation being made. Okay? It is alleged that you agree with the words of those who are speaking unless you state otherwise on the public record. The public record is a witness who agrees with what you state and then broadcasts what you state to all others. That's what the public record is. Okay, so just be aware of that. Okay, again, the public record is a witness who agrees with what you state and then broadcasts what you state to all others. The public record is a living entity. The one that we created is a living entity. That is why posting of your documents on the public record is so important. So, with that being stated, just one moment. Just a moment. Let me get that right here out.
Where's your free cell phone service,
so
Polly?
thinking this
Yeah,
is
you're
real.
going
Oh.
So, additionally, those who were previously enacting speaking for you were hoping to assume.
Where's all your free swag, Polly?
They were hoping to assume your office and do as they will instead in that office. But their plan failed because you keep speaking. Their plan failed because you've been stating publicly, loudly, clearly, competently, and sovereignly on the public record. The algorithm of the public record picked up your words and broadcast them worldwide and earthwide. The system began repeating your words over and over and over. Living record technique worked in your favor and continues to work in your favor. Now, all court records, public records, private records, congressional records, universal records, and all other records are stating your laws in your favor because you spoke and you continue to speak. And when we say you, we're talking all ancient, original, indigenous, sovereign Moors. That is why speaking and writing and stating is so important. Islam. So now for the main topic. We hereby employ our state secretary banking authority, and we did this years ago. We employed it, but we are putting it on the public record specifically for this particular action that we are stating. So in the last couple of Congresses, we showed you some documents that came back regarding the $27,000 something that we, the Moorish sovereign dolarium that we put into the bank, and it was processed through the banking system. We showed that it was processed through. And in fact, let us just show you that proof once again really quickly that it was processed through. Here is the proof that the check that we sent using Morris Sovereign Delarium, and this is just a copy of our bank account, went through, and there's the proof right there that our check went all the way through, $27,777.75. So now, once it was processed through and the gold Morris Sovereign Delarium receipts went into the bank account, we received some documentation back that we showed. So what we're doing now is stating that
screenshot stuff.
So now what the document that we showed previously, and let's show that document because we received this document right here, and it stated that the check was charged to the deposit account, back to the deposit account. And again, that is in our favor as always. As you'll see, there's no minus sign here. That was the item amount. And then it says enclosed is a substitute check, which you can redeposit using one of the following options. Cash or deposit in person. So essentially the system said, yes, this is real money. And here is a way for you to use the money that you created. Okay. So the system affirmed and agreed with us and what we did. Okay. So now, what we're doing is taking this same process and turning the document. Okay. Here is how to turn a document. So when you get documents back like this, here is how you change that document into what it should be for you. Because what the system is looking for is a process. Because the process that the system was using from the last era was a subordinate process. In other words, it was beneath our nobility. So we must elevate the process so that the process will so that the system recognizes the process. So here is how we change this document to be what it should be, because again, the document is stating that all is affirmed. However, we must state the process in order for it to be proper. It's just like with any law. When you see things on the public record, codes and statutes and whatever, it's not really a code, it's not a statute, it's not a law unless we restate it and publish it and say, this is the law, this is the process. Okay? So here's how you change anything that you receive. If someone sends something, or if you receive something from the system, because all of those documents are generated documents. They're not handwritten by a people. They're generated by a system. The system, when you put the right thing in the system, the right thing will come out. And so that's what we're doing. So this process right here is how you put the right thing into the system, okay? We're speaking to our own system using our own documents. So you would capture the image of that document. So what we did with this document right here is we scanned it in, okay? We scanned it in, scanned everything in, and particularly this part of the document, because this is asking questions right here. And if you'll notice, there are 3 questions being asked here. What is a substitute check? What are my rights regarding substitute check? How do I make a claim for a refund? Well, we know that this is a court action, or an attempt at a court action rather, but because it's not coming from a real court, we have to restate this process. And this is how you restate the process. Capture the image of the document, okay? Scan in the piece of paper, whatever it is that you receive, whether it be a mortgage statement, whether it be a quote-unquote utility bill or anything. You capture the image of it. That means scan it in. See, that's a capture. It's a capture. Then you edit your capture. That means to place a black minus sign in front of the dollar amount if the document was sent as a bill. Okay. Print out the scanned document. Whatever changes you made as you edited the document. Once you edit that document, you print out the scanned document using magnetic ink if you have it. And I'll show you why this is important very shortly. So this document right here, when we restate this process, because we are in the process of rewriting this process so that it applies to legacy accounts. When we print it out, after we've changed it and nationalized this logo and put our National United Services Automobile Association logo at the top of the page, once we restate this document, we're going to print it out using magnetic ink because it's a financial document. Now, we've captured the fraudulent document and we said, okay, we're gonna how do we call it? Reprogram, reprocess, restate, reform, reconstruct, all the rewords, renew, revive, but not really reviving the dead, it's creating it anew. Once you've changed the document and made your changes to the document, you want to print out the scanned document that you changed using magnetic ink if you have it. This creates a completely new document that the system recognizes. So then what you'll do is endorse, and endorse means, this is another pronunciation or spelling of the word endorse. It's indoors. We are the door to the estate. What we're doing is accessing that door with our autograph. See, in the last era, when we endorsed something or signed something, we were opening the door for whoever created that document. Now we're authenticating our own document. Yes, indeed. So you endorse the document that you've edited and printed out. Print out the version that you created in blue ink, and it can even be in black ink. But when you endorse it, you'll endorse it in blue ink, or you can endorse it in red, either one. Blue is a good ink because we're sailing things on peaceful waters. Okay, so we're talking now about commerce, and whenever you're talking about commerce, a blue pen is acceptable for commerce. So that is how you can then use whatever you've printed out as a legal credit. Mail it back to the system using the zip code. And again, not to the high court system. And if you send it to the high court system, it's still going to be good. The high court system will just send it to that arm of the system that is the legal arm. Okay. And then destroy or burn the one that was sent to you, pretending to be an original credit. Okay, so with this document right here, the system said that, hey, you can use this legal copy in the same way that you would use the original check. So if you were going to use it to get a copy machine and some paper and a printer and all of that, if you were going to use your check to do that, you can use this legal copy. Well, here's what we do. We restate the copy, and we just added a little statement on here, and then we printed this check out, front and back, using magnetic ink, our magnetic ink. That way, the system is going to pick up the check, the credits, and everything, the system is going to pick it up, and it's also going to pick up whatever it is that we ordered with it, okay? So, again, when we are, so the one that I received, when I received this document right here in the mail, when it was received in the mail box, I didn't receive it, it was received in the mailbox. The one that I received in the mailbox, that was sent to the mailbox, I'm going to burn it and destroy it. But it's because I've scanned this one in, and now I can actually call it my own. This check, once I print this check out in using magnetic ink, then I can say, okay, now, wherever it is that I will to use it, I can make a list of the things that I will to have, print that out, and then tell the system in that place, in the store or the, wherever it is that I'm going to be using this, this is how this is to be used. So this is like an account. And because it's printed out with magnetic ink, now again, if you don't have magnetic ink, then get you some magnetic ink or use it in the way that you can use it. Again, not everyone will have access to magnetic ink, but if you can get magnetic ink, get it for your financial document. Because that is going to make it so that all the scanners that scan everything in, they'll be able to see it. And it'll be our system that's scanning things in. We have actually tested that and demonstrated that at a grocery store. We made a checkout and we demonstrated it at the grocery store. But because we hadn't, see, they were prepared to take whatever we gave them. And all they were going to do was scan it in and print out a receipt. But we didn't use magnetic ink. So the scanner, the magnetic scanner that they have at every register, did not pick up the writing that was on the check. So that is how we knew that, okay, they don't care, the system doesn't care who, what instruments are put there if they're coming from a particular authority or account. The system will take it when it fits the system's qualifications. And the qualifications are routing number, account number, magnetic ink, a signature. Okay? And then for us, we send our affidavits. Before we do any of this, we send our affidavits. And once we send our affidavits to the corporate office or the home office, see, we're the home office of everything. We're the home office on the land because this is our homeland. Corporate offices differ from homelands because corporate offices work for the homeland office or the home office. So when you print these things out, go ahead and print it out using magnetic ink, and the system will be able to see how to process. Because once the system captures the image, it creates an account automatically. See, that's the thing that it begins to send things back and forth. It puts it on the grid. That's how the system works, is once something is scanned in at a register, then the system says, okay, we have a routing number, we have an account number, then we have a way for things to go back and forth. Okay? So now, why is the use of magnetic ink going to be important for us here at this point that we're at right now? Magnetic ink is going to be important for us right now because, just one moment. On and after March 11th of 2024. And this is public notice. Everyone is aware of this already. We're just affirming what is. Fiduciary money will be necessary for groceries and things of that nature. Fiduciary money. Why? Because we're in transition. More sovereign delirium is for businesses that have been properly, again, lien, levy, bond. And when we start our businesses, which, like, for example, we started our sea salt business, we began accepting more sovereign delirium and gold and silver for the sea salt. Already done. We don't accept fiat, and fiduciary money is not necessary because we have our own money for those natural resources. However, we did a video about, let's see, when was this video done? The fiduciary money video. Let me put this link in the chat. The fiduciary money video, you know, the MICR language for the image before and after the rounding number. If you use which one? It doesn't matter, the one who's asking the question about the MICR language, which is probably those two dots, and then there's, you know, things of that nature. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it is. There's an echo. Two different icons that can be used before and after the routing number. And I noticed on a corporate check that I received last year but never cashed, it had a different set of codes before and after the routing number. And I'm wondering if you know the difference between them, because like on the check that you just used, that's shown on there, it used, you know, hashtag, and then a smaller hashtag up to the upper right, okay, as an example. But the other one had hashtag and 2 colons, like a colon. So do you know the difference in how the system looks at that? What is it saying or communicating? Do you know any of that information for sure?
I don't know for sure, but the research that I did, and I can't say I don't know for sure because I do know for sure.
Okay.
The research that I did on those symbols, it all depends on where the check is coming from as to which one you will use. However, for us, we state what those symbols mean for our checks coming from our state, from our empire. So I just chose those two. I chose the two, and it was actually a line and a colon.
Okay.
That's really what it looked. It looked like dashes, but it wasn't a dash. It was colons. I chose those just because from our state and what we're doing, it just means that right after that is coming some numbers, and it just tells what those numbers are. So when you see those before and after the number, it's saying that is a routing number or an account number rather than a check number or some other type of number. It's just describing the number that's in there. That's between those symbols.
Okay, thank you.
Islam. So the system wills to know what the numbers are. One is going to be, again, the routing number, and the other is going to be the account number. And those things designate which is which, so that the system will know. Because those numbers are mapping or pointing the system to go places and get things. Go places and get credits. Go places and take credits or put credits. Take them or place them. So with that being stated, we did a fiduciary money video. Let me see, when did we do this video? We did several of them. Islam Empress.
Will you open the meeting for Noble Akil?
Yes, Islam.
Islam.
Usually when when the ancestors give us information, they give it to us first, and then so this was a year ago that we did the demonstration with fiduciary money. The ancestors gave us that so that we could later on go back and look at that process to see why it is they gave us both fiduciary money and more sovereign dollarium and gold and silver. The fiduciary money video, we would encourage you to go back and watch that video, because the fiduciary money is going to be what you would use at the grocery stores and other places as we go through this transition. And even as we are going through this transition with fiduciary money, the fiduciary money for the first 3 or 4 months, maybe, or maybe even the first 6 months to a year, is going to look one way, and then it's going to look another way, and then it's going to be more sovereign dollarium. Okay? So as we're going through the transition, we are making sure that the system, first and foremost, recognizes our sovereign authority, and we know that it does already. We've proven that. Any systems that we did not craft from the beginning, like grocery store systems and things of that nature, first we lien, levy, and bond. That's going to change it. That's going to change the nature of the commerce. And then in order for the systems to recognize our what we're doing, and recognize our documents, our paperwork, and the things that we're doing, we give the system something that looks similar but is not the same. That's
You're
what we've been doing, because again, that's
Pauline, you won't even do these demonstrations yourself.
And we've shown you how we're demonstrating. So again, Moors,
you have not, Pauline. You're a liar.
We've shown you what the system says back, and
you're
and
a
how
fucking blowhard, and you won't even do the demonstration yourself.
So yes, indeed, peace be still, indeed. So as we're what we're doing now is we are transitioning the system. We are doing that, okay? Because no one else can. So what we're doing is we presented fiduciary money. We voted on fiduciary money first and foremost. And for those, please do let's just do the study right now. Let's look up fiduciary money. Let's look up that term and see what it is. Because we did this previously when we introduced fiduciary money definition. And that's the first thing that came up. We can look at a bunch of things. We could use Forex. What is fiduciary money? Let's look at BYJUs. I don't know what that is. Fiduciary, cash, currency, or money. It alludes to banknotes and coins available for use in the economy. This is the liquidity accessible to financial actors to do whatever the financial actors are doing. So let's see. A fiduciary is someone who manages money or property for someone else. When you're named a fiduciary and accept the role, you must, by law, let's look at this. That's consumerfinance.gov. It says you must, by law, manage the person's money and property for their benefit, not yours. So we are the fiduciaries for our all caps, or for our in capitis diminutio minima, okay? Fiduciary money And again, these definitions have to be finessed because they're coming from a source that is looking for affirmation of their definition, as opposed to them stating this as a truth. Fiduciary cash, currency, or money alludes to banknotes and coins available for use in the economy. This is the liquidity accessible to financial actors to do exchanges. It is a method for payment. Cash is a substantial or tangible property, not at all like scriptural cash, which is insignificant. So fiduciary money, let me see, let's look up, let's see if we can find that in Black's Law Dictionary. Those are okay definitions, but they need to be finessed.
Islam, fiduciary, I haven't found fiduciary money in fiduciaries in here.
Okay, read that in for what you have.
All right, so fiduciary, this is Black's Law, 4th edition. The term is derived from the Roman law and means, as a noun, a person holding the character of a trustee or a character analogous to that of a trustee in respect to the trust and confidence involved in it and the scrupulous good faith and candor which it requires.
Yeah.
Then there's some stare decisis. Then a person having duty created by his undertaking to act primarily for another's benefit in matters connected with such undertaking. Next, it says, as an adjective, it means of the nature of a trust, having the characteristics of a trust, analogous to a trust, relating to or founded upon a trust or confidence.
Yes, yes. Trust is huge.
Yes.
And again, that is, we bring all commerce, we bring it into trust when we do the lien, levy, and bond process. We bring that commerce into trust. I searched the word fiduciary in Black's Law, and it's bringing up a bunch of different things. Here, equity is a body of jurisprudence or field of jurisdiction differing in its origin and theory and methods from the common law. That part of the law which, having power to enforce discovery, administers trust, mortgages, and other fiduciary obligations. Fiduciary obligations it's all about the trust, okay? So now, fiduciary money is money that is used to minister a trust or an estate. That's what fiduciary money is. And so the difference between fiduciary money and mors sovereign delarium is that we're taking this next year, let's say, and it may not even take that long, but we're taking this next year to transition, to continue transitioning the estate over. Fiduciary money, the process for fiduciary money is this very same process. It is State Secretary Banking Authority. It's the same process. What do you do with the fiduciary money? Again, we scan in an image. We capture an image of some fiat. You capture the image because, see, fiat, we can't use fiat in the state that it was issued. It's not issued properly. So what we're doing is we're capturing the image of the fiat, put it in there, scan it into your computer, edit your capture, okay? And where we're concerned and where the fiduciary money that we're creating and that we've created, and we talked about how to create it in the link that we gave you, how to create your money. And this is how you do it right here, what's on the screen. You scan it in, restate it, and then print it out and autograph or endorse and authenticate it. That's the only way it will be viable and usable. And then you can take that to the grocery stores. But again, you're going to notify the corporate office of that grocery store that this is what you're doing with a lien, levy, and bond. Okay? Let us show you also a photo of some fiduciary money that we... Islam.
Maybe I missed this part of the prefacing of the importance of having the first 40 documents on the record stating your position, that you are the sovereign, trustee, fiduciary, you hold those offices. And that circles back to what I was stating earlier about, that's the reason why before you can issue out the responsibility to have somebody assist you for the documentation, you must do it for yourself. And this that we're demonstrating now concerning the fiduciary money, if you haven't done the documentation for yourself and know why it says what it says and how you're to do it for yourself, then it's going to fall and it's going to be arduous for you. Not arduous, but the demonstration may not work as you desired it to with that statement, because you have to know for yourself why the documents state what they state, how they function, and trust the process. And the only way you can trust the process is if you do it yourself.
Yes.
You don't have somebody go to the gym and work out for you and talk about, I want to lose 50 pounds, and somebody else is running a treadmill for you. It don't work that way. You have to do it yourself. So back to what I said earlier, you have to do your paperwork yourself, know why it says what it says, stand on the paperwork yourself before you can ask for assistance for someone to assist you on any process, period. Because when you go do your demonstration for the fiduciary money, you got to know, wait a minute, I'm the fiduciary. I sent my fiduciary resignation letter to my office to resign the actor in that office. I hold the office, and you have to know how to articulate that, right? And if you don't do your own paperwork, how will one know? How will one? So back to that part, you have to do the certain documents that we've stated previous. They're under the videos in the description box. The link was already put in the chat. I'll put it in again. Please, 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 please do those documents before you make the move to go and do this process, because that's how you protect yourself. You protect yourself by doing the 40 documents, understanding them beyond comprehension. You know why they say what they say, and stand on them. You must, you must, you must. It is imperative. We've stressed this before. We're going to explain it and stress it again and suggest it, highly recommended you do those documents.
Yes.
You can't skip over them. You can't negate them. You can't ignore them. You can't misuse them, because that comes into honor, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Islam, this is that part. You have to do the documents, because that lays the foundation for which you stand upon to do this very demonstration.
Yes.
That is those documents are the all God, all law, and the lawful standing for which we can do the legal process of creating our own resources, period.
Yeah.
That is it. That is all. So one must know why and how you are doing it. And not for nothing, it's a saying that where your money is, your heart follows.
Yes.
Right? So this is our resources, this is our money. And where you put your money, your heart follows. And where you put your heart, the resource follows. So it's an inverse thing. right? So this is that part. You have to put your heart into it, and putting your heart into it, the resource will follow. Yeah. So you can't be, I'm just going to go for the resource and the money. No, you have to have the heart first. You have to have the heart, and the heart is not by coincidence red letter documentation in ancient English. All right, so that is that part. You must. It is emphasized on emphasis because tests and trials come to make you stronger. So with that stated, the tests and trials, they will come to show you who you are. Yes. So if you don't have the documentation on the record, if you don't know why it's there, the test will show you why it's there.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, so get the documentation done first before, and this is to everybody, and then more importantly, the new people that are coming along and seeing this demonstration here, please do the first 40 documents first. Please, please, please. It is imperative. You have to have the understanding first.
Yes.
You must know why you're doing this process. You must know who you are. You must know you're the Chief Justice. You must know you're the banker. You must know you're the postmaster. You must know you're the Attorney General office. You must know why you're sorry?
And the currency controller.
Exactly. You must know all of these things. You must. And those are established in the first 40 documents.
Yes.
And nobody should be doing those for you but you.
I affirm.
I affirm as well. Islam. So for the one that this is for and the question mark, go back and look at the 40 documents. Go do them, and then you'll know what this is for. So thank you for asking that question.
Islam.
Islam mobility.
Empress Angel said she was going to put the link in the chat.
Oh, yes, I'm getting it right now. Islam.
Empress Angel, listen, we affirm, support, all of that. We agree, all of that. Every word she stated is truth. And this particular Congress is a high-level demonstrating Congress. We do high-level demonstrations here. So this is not necessarily 101. This is not necessarily more science 101. This is on up into who we really are on the land. And that requires that you study, and there are some things that come first before you can do this type of a demonstration. The currency controller document and that 40-something documents that will be linked under this video, that document is what gives us the authority to do this. And here's the thing. Remember, those from the last era were bankrupt. We're the creditors. So as the creditors, we must use whatever we will to use in order to recuperate our what can be perceived as losses. This is how you get your losses back. So with that being stated,
Islam is in the chat.
Thank you, Empress. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. And anytime you will to step in, Empress Angel, and make those type of statements, please do so. Because we're just moving forward, and sometimes there needs to be some clarification like that. Yes, indeed, Islam.
Thank you, Empress.
Thank you. Islam.
More than welcome, Islam.
So now when these are printed out, we use magnetic ink, and then we autograph right over here in blue, right underneath there in blue. That's what we do. And then the systems in the store will recognize what we're using. But again, we will have notified everyone that the creditors are here and that we are using fiduciary money to get whatever it is that we get. because it's our stuff. And the reason that we're stating after March 11th is because that is the date set in the ethers, and by us. We talked about fiduciary money. We voted on it. See, Congress already voted and stated that we could do this. That was a year ago.
Islam, we did. I affirm.
There are several videos on fiduciary money.
In fact, we did a whole we did a whole ritual. Empress Light demonstrated the ritual on the altar on burning the acting fiat that was done. Yes.
Islam, we affirm. We did the fiat burning ceremony.
Yes. And that's a part of this also. The ones that were acting as money, we burned that, and then we use the ones that we print out and autograph in blue. We use that. So for those who have demonstrated, and maybe you demonstrated and then the account was closed because of that, that door closed so that this door could open. That's biblical, by the way. And so what we do is print them out the same size as a regular note, okay? And then we autograph it in blue right over here on the left, and that goes for any of the other bills, the other notes that we print out. We voted on this process. We put the process on the public record, and we gave our system the time and everything to prepare for us to do this. Because guess what? This is the same thing that the actors that were acting as China were doing. They created a feedback loop in their enactment of bringing all of those resources back and giving them back to where they came from. And so that was the enactment. However, we're actually doing the real thing.
Islam, Empress?
Islam, Empress.
I stepped away from our Congress for a moment, and you may have already spoken to this. I remember asking about a year ago when we first presented the fiduciary money, there was a concern about the serial numbers. So is that no longer a concern?
It's not a concern at all. It's not a concern at all, and this is why. The serial numbers were a contract. All contracts, if you look back at all of our liens, we stated that no one is contracted with debtors. Because, see, debtors can't contract anyway. They're bankrupt. When you're in bankruptcy, you cannot contract with anyone else. You must settle what you have, the debts that you had, okay? And so with those debts, this is how the debts are being settled, because we're the settlers. We're the creditors. And with the systems being now changed over, all the system is doing is saying, okay, how would you all like to settle this? You're the creditors. How would you like to settle it? The way we do that is the same way, and this is, again, what we stated in the last Congress. We are doing the anti-babble. We're giving the system back something that the system will recognize, except we created it. And we autograph it so that it becomes valid or endorsed. And again, this part with the fiduciary money starts on March the 11th, which is going to give all of us plenty of time to send out notifications to grocery stores and all of that, because we're the real grocery store. That's just a system. It's just a system. We're speaking to the system. We're the managers. We're the cashiers. We're all of that already. This you can use at any of the self-checkouts. You can use that at any of the self-checkouts. And then if there's any change, you let them keep the change, because the change is That's why it's called change. Think about that.
Islam, I affirm. And if I may, just right quick, because you said endorse, and I came up and thought about endocrine system. And then when I looked up the etymology of endo, E-N-D-O, it means within, inner, absorbing. So when we do our paperwork, it's coming from within. We endorse something. So those who have the inner understanding, that's why I said what I said earlier. Please look back at what I stated just before.
Yes.
It has to come from within you, endo, inner, and then you absorb it, and then what from within comes without, out, and then you can effectuate and do and be. And those questions that was asked early in Congress about, how do we demonstrate, how does it look like when we do our banking and things of that nature, is because it comes from within.
Yes.
The endo. And so, as well.
And thank you, Empress. That within that Empress Angel is talking about is a part of a trust system. It's a trust system. Anything that's within our empire is in our trust. Not only are we the trustees, we're also the trustors. The trustor is the one who creates the trust in the first place. Lien, levy, bond. And this fiduciary money is in alignment with the bond process as well. So here's the thing, Morris. This has been, as the banking system continues to close down, and it's not a banking, it's actors from the previous era. This is how we proceed as we make the changes. Our fiduciary money will look like this. We'll put our blue signature on each one. You must autograph each one. Because that's going to be, that blue signature is going to be in alignment with the bond and the lien and the levy that you do. The lien is in red. The levy and the bond is blue, is signed in blue. And this is going to be a part of the resources coming from that bond. And then what we're doing is, this is what the fiduciary money looks like right now. But then as the system continues to change, because it's going to be changing even as we do this, then the fiduciary money is going to start looking like, let me just show you what it's going to look like after that. It's going to be changing over time, and the numbers are going to turn red, like these numbers, these serial numbers here, they're red. But right now they're green. The serial numbers are green. Okay, they're gonna be red at one point, and then after a while, let me see. There are some. That's the 10.
Islam. So we're just changing the color of the serial numbers. That's the alteration on that part.
That would be and that will be later. They don't have to be red right now. They'll be red later. Right now, everybody can scan in what they have, and then just make sure that you print out with magnetic ink your fiduciary money and autograph it in blue, and then just use it. And it can be the same serial number over and over and over, because again, the systems have disconnected already from that previous trust.
Islam.
Okay. Islam.
2023, I acquired the fiduciary money. I used it. Did it have magnetic ink at that time?
Okay. And for those that don't have magnetic ink, they're going to have to use it anyway, because again, the system enactment from the last term is shutting. Things are closing very quickly, actually. And so this is how we will proceed. However, those who have magnetic ink, go ahead and print yours out using magnetic ink.
We can acquire that with Amazon.
Yeah.
Shop around, we can find it.
Yes.
Does anybody know the cost factor of this magnetic ink? Is it higher than normal ink that we use on our printers?
Islam, yes, it is. My normal ink for my printer is about $20 for the black ink, and for the micro ink for the same model was $63.
$40.
63 credit units. Okay.
Upgrade. Okay. So that would be Amazon.
It can be there or home or Office Depot, Staples, any of those places, Walmart, any of those places.
In my case, the ink, the cheapest I could find was at Amazon at $63. The other ones were $80, $90, and $100-something for the same micro ink for that same model. Now, every model obviously is going to be different. I'm using the HP, lower end model. If you get a high end model, it might be more. I don't know. So you got to look at your model number. Islam.
Thank you. Now, the serial number, that's something I must have missed that video 2023 because I heard about it, but I've never seen the video. The video talks about the serial numbers, or you can put AA 22141. Can anybody expound on that? That I didn't do.
Islam, I think what's being spoken of right now is the serial numbers on the fiduciary money. That's and you're not going to change it. The color, as Empress Light was stating, the color will change over time on the serial number. So that.
No, I'm not talking about the color. I'm talking about the actual numbers themselves. Do the numbers stay the same?
Yes.
The serial numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Islam, Empress Light, I have a question.
Yes, Islam.
The magnetic ink, as far as I am aware, comes only in black.
Yes.
So actually everything will be black and white.
It won't be black and white because if you have a color printer, it'll be color, but it will
still mix in there.
Yeah.
Well, so in that case, because I'm not sure, I have a magnetic ink printer, but it only prints. It's a black and white. Okay. So I can get around that by printing it in color and then flipping it through the magnet. So never mind.
You can do that. You can do that.
I'll do that. Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
I yield. Oh, one other question.
Yes, Empress.
And it's related to the fiduciary money. If I recall correctly, and obviously this has changed. I'm certain, but let me just clarify. In our fiduciary appointment resignation documents, it states that the fiduciary money is the only one that requires 2 signatures when we were copying the Janet Yellen and ourselves.
Yes.
Now it is 1 signature and it's just ours, because where you're stating to put the blue signature is where, so in the previously when we had done the fiduciary, we had 2 of them, Yellen was on that side and we were. So I just wanted to be clear, it's just us, no need for Yellen's.
No, right. Right, and these have the black ink signatures there, but again, we have taken control and command over all letters, numbers, sounds, signs, sigils, etc., and that's the reason why we're printing it out ourselves.
Correct, right.
And signing it. So it's still going to have 2 signatures. It's just that one of them is subordinate to yours.
Oh, but the one that's already on there, we're not going to be copying like we would. Well, no. No. It's just I figured that was it, but I just wanted to be certain, sure. So.
Yes, indeed.
Islam. So we're going to keep that signature and put ours above it?
Yeah, put ours right up above there. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense to me. Thank you.
Yeah. Islam,
Empress. So to be clear, Janet Yellen, her signature is still going to go on the right side, and then ours and that. Okay, so that doesn't need to be on there at all.
You don't need to do anything but print it out and sign it.
Okay, Islam.
And make sure that you have sent your lien levy bond to the corporate office.
Yeah, I'm not even at this point on the timeline yet, so I'll work up to that. I'm working on some other things, but I just wanted to ask while we're on the subject. Islam,
I'm going to also add my comptroller to the currency as well.
That's a great idea. That is a great idea. Or you could even add your fiscal services fiduciary document as well.
Yes, thank you. I will catch that.
you could even add the quashing of all dead letter homonyms. I mean, we have so many tools.
Yes,
we have so many tools that we can use. Our attorney, in fact, for the Treasury, we have so many tools we could use.
Yes.
And that is why we've been taking the time to do all of these things.
Yes.
So that when this time came, that is government structure. So that now that that quote unquote bank accounts are closing and things of that nature, the Moors are fine. We're fine. And here's the thing, others are going to be fine also. We're just clearing the path for them. That's all we're doing, is clearing the path for our brothers and sisters. And they're going to see us prospering even in the quote unquote lean times. So please, the 40-something documents, study and do them. Our ancestors did not give us that for nothing. They gave it to us for a reason. There's a reason for each and every document, a reason for each and every one. And here's the thing, if people will to eat and to be able to do things on the land, this is going to have to be a must, because all of that other stuff is going away. And many of you have already experienced some of that, of things, bank accounts being closed. Well, it's closed because you're the bank. You are to print out what is necessary for you. And it can be used everywhere. Restaurants, everywhere. Banks, everywhere. But we're the bank. That's just a system. And all we're doing is addressing the system. Study the documents, please. The fiduciary document, the fiscal services document, the treasury documents, all of that. Study all of that, and you will see your own authority looking right back at you in the study. And then once we do this part, then after about a year, we're going to reintroduce the this with the brown-skinned Moorish renditions of these notes, which is going to prepare everyone for the Moorish sovereign dolarium. Because remember, when we introduced fiduciary money, we showed these right here, then the red numbers, then the faces of everyone on the fiduciary money, brown faces. We made everyone look like us, and then that's going to be in alignment with. So there is a question in the chat. It says, how do citizen subjects handle this process? You're going to handle the process the same way that we do. If you've had an account that has been closed because you're demonstrating who you are on the land, just send your affidavit. Remember, we stated do an affidavit on a plain white piece of paper. Do your affidavit stating who you are, and then send that to the corporate office stating that this is what you're going to be doing. Okay. We're going to be issuing this money, but with the citizen subjects, it is our suggestion that you hold off before doing any of these processes, to allow the government, the Moors, to speak first. We must speak first in all of these processes. So we state that you not do anything yet. Let us do it first. Let us go first, because it's important that the system recognize whatever comes after what we're doing. Okay. And the thing about the citizen subjects is you all have already been preparing for this time to come by prepping, doing prep things like collecting your canned goods and your things, and prepping and things of that nature. That was in anticipation of this time period, knowing that, and you all are already aware of this, that Judah must go first, that we must go first, so that the system recognizes. Yes. We are the door. That's what the endorsement part is about. And bringing everything under our sovereign authority, which it already is. It's just a matter of us stating that and then demonstrating that. So we have the date planned for this demonstration to begin for the Moors, and then we have to introduce this same thing to our heirs and those around us, because their stuff is going to be closing too if it hasn't closed already. Remember that. And we can print as much as we will to print, so that's not a thing. However, what we're doing this for, Moors, yes, it is to sustain and so that we enjoy the land, but it's also in preparation to open the door for everyone else. So copy machines, scanners, whatever else, paper, ink, all of that stuff is going to be part of the process. That's what these endless resources that we can print are for. That's what they're for. Islam justice.
I hate interrupting your flow. I really do.
Go ahead, no, Billy.
That's why a lot of times I don't say anything. I'm just like, she's in the flow. She's giving the information.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Forgive me. Now, as I'm listening, my mind went to the bond. 2023, when the bond was given to us.
Yeah.
And then you said, make sure you put your heirs, your children's children and whatnot, grandmother, father, whoever, your clan, your loved ones on the bond. So what I did was, a couple days ago, it came to my mind. I put it on my personal bond with that quote-unquote sovereign security account number.
Yes.
I'm saying that to say to everybody, if you have not done that, please do that for your children, your daughters, your son, your heirs, etc. I just want to throw that in there since we're talking about financial instruments, Islam. I yield the floor.
Islam indeed. These instruments, again, things are happening very quickly. Even if you don't have all of your relatives' full names and things of that nature, just state all agents, principals, heirs, assigns, and any derivatives thereof for your name, and then they will be covered by you. The bond, Justice Your Highest, is under the 47-minute video about the post office lien, levy, and bond process. So if you will to look at that 47-minute video, if someone could put the link to the post office video in the chat, that would be great, so that everyone can get that can watch that video and create their bonds from the documents that are under that video. This is going to be important because, again, those things that were enacting bank accounts from the last era, they're closing very quickly, very, very quickly. They close once we've properly demonstrated the processes, because ours are opening. Okay? We're the bank. And then we're going to transition everyone to Moorish Sovereign Dolarium, fully to Moorish Sovereign Dolarium. And we're looking at probably a year or so, maybe, but we'll just, as the Congress, we'll keep looking at the process and to do it, we'll just play it by ear and watch as the transition is made on how things are going, But again, March the 11th, which is in 8 days, is when we will begin to use fiduciary money en masse. Okay, we've given a year's notice, a whole year's notice or more. Okay, it is the law. And guess what? No one rebutted it. No one rebutted the laws. None of the laws that we placed on the record have been rebutted by anyone. Everyone agrees. So again, all grocery stores, quote unquote, were bankrupt from the very beginning. We are the creditors. And with this, we can also begin you know, as you're sending out notification, go ahead and throw something in there about natural foods being brought into the place. Okay. Yes, they've agreed.
The link is in the chat for the video.
Thank you, Empress. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, and just one quick thing I just realized and found that you go to Luxury Bay and you can go, it's like in the same line when you see your appellation and the link, there's a look magnifying glass. If you click that, you can search keywords and a few videos may pop up, and then you can go ahead and do your research and searching in that manner as well. So, you know, so when you're looking for something, your spirit can say, oh, this one, and then you just start watching it, and then your answers will come. And so I just found that just recently.
You know, Empress, that was not there before. I just noticed that about 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I used it, and it worked.
It sure enough does. And that's how I got that one so quickly. I went and I put that magnifying glass, I put in post office, and it came up right there, number 1.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. The algorithm is hearing our words being spoken, and the system is doing what it's supposed to do. It's improving everything around us about what we state. So, more, we will that the citizen subjects are able to do these things that we're doing in the capacity that a citizen or subject can do it. In other words, they need to be able to get whatever, you know, food and things of that nature. So the sooner we continue to do what we're doing, the better for everyone, even the sleeping Moors, who are starting to wake up very quickly, by the way. Hopefully you all got to watch Cat Williams' video that we suggested that you watch from the last Congress.
Islam,
Empress.
I did, and I have to say he was, I mean, the character, the Cat Williams that I was seeing and hearing in that video was an elevated being.
Yes, yes. He's been learning some things and remembering.
Right. It was very, and thank you for sharing that. It's not something I would have, you know, hunted down and seen, but no, well worth spending the time.
Yes.
Interview, well worth. So yes.
You know, I enjoy watching he and Joe Rogan do the communication dance that they were doing, where Kat knew that Joe Rogan knows who he is.
Yes.
They all know who we are.
Yes.
They just prompt and say things to see if we remember.
It was very, very, very well done. And yeah.
Kat did a great job. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
He did a great job.
I mean, the frequency, the equilibrium of his spirit, was very powerful and just cool.
It was very powerful.
Very powerful. So I highly recommend it. I yield. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. So, you know, I will say this about everyone. Everyone is waking up. All the Moors are waking up. And what we're doing is in preparation to make sure that they have everything that they will to have without a break in services and works and wealth. We are the wealthiest people at earth and in heaven. So Islam nobility.
Was that the 3-hour discussion with Joe Rogan?
Yes. Oh, yes.
It's a 3-hour one? Okay, I just wanted to confirm. I just pulled it up.
You know what? And speaking of the 3-hour, you know, anyone who wills to know the truth would not mind sitting in front of a 3 or 4 or 5 hour video.
Indeed.
You know.
I just wanted to clarify that I get the right one. That's all.
Yeah, that's the right one. And I was actually thinking about the 5-something-hour video that I watched of Maxine Waters acting as the head of the banking committee, where she had the five or six major quote unquote CEOs of banks to testify. That was a 5-something-hour video that had I been asleep, I would not have bothered to watch it. But because we're awake, I knew I was going to get some information from it. And of course we did. We saw where they took an oath to the Republic in that video, And again, we get something from all the videos, so it's nothing for us to sit down and look at a 3, 4, 5-hour video. Nothing.
And Islam, and for everyone's benefit, I just put that in the chat, the link for the YouTube video, in case someone missed it.
Thank you, Nobility. It's a good video. It's really good. It's worth watching because you get to see how our brothers and sisters know who they are. And here's the thing: the Moors that are waking up, either they identify as Moors or they go all the way back and identify as the ancient beings who ruled the earth, which is the same as Moors. So we love it. With that being stated, the fiduciary money, it is our will, and it is highly suggested that no matter what, never take change. Don't let them give you that change, because the change is not real. The change is the fraud. So you tell them to keep the change, and it's going to make you look very generous, and you will be. You will be very generous. Yeah, don't take the change ever. With that being stated, are there any other questions, comments, wisdom from this great and amazing Congress?
Islam, yes.
Islam.
I mentioned to you at the very beginning, I wanted to get the congressional's eyes on a male situation, and I think I may have identified the situation, but I'd like to see what the Congress thinks of this. Okay, again, with the mailing, because I mailed out a demonstration, and 8 of the 9 were delivered. Yeah. And ironically, the same one came back from the same territory, which happens to be Michigan. I got one the last time was from Michigan, and this time from Michigan. So I have the 2 queued up and ready that I can show them.
Okay.
If you're ready, all right.
I am ready. Let me send forth the presenter piece. Just a moment.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Share desktop. I got it queued up. All right. So can you see the screen right now with the 2 side by side?
Yes, we see that.
Okay. So first of all, the original that was mailed out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I need to make that bigger. If you can see it.
Can you make it bigger?
Yeah.
So
I'll start with the one on the left.
Okay.
And make it bigger.
And you will always know.
Okay. So first, let's look at the stamp. This was a stamp, okay, that was restated. No postage necessary, blah, 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 all in blue. No abbreviations, et cetera, okay? This is the subject in the office of. I didn't include that language specifically on this particular one. I just put Rachel Eubanks, Michigan State Treasurer. That is the way that they say you need to address the Department of Treasury for them.
They're lying.
Okay, well,
You didn't
nevertheless, that's the way they say it's the proper way for them to receive their mail. So I did it that way.
But you don't do what they say.
You
All
don't do
right.
what they say.
Okay, let me before y'all just let me continue. All right.
Mom.
Thank you. All right, and I wanted you to know all the other elements are exactly the way they need to be. Okay, and even the return address. Now, the one that went back from governor, the one from the governor, had the governor custodian in the office of on the corrected one, and that's being delivered. Okay, it hasn't been returned yet. And for whatever reason, the first one, it was a P.O. box, I think was the mistake that was on there. Okay, now this one doesn't have a P.O. box or anything like that, but they don't give you a physical address for Lansing, Michigan. So regardless of what they say, they don't give you a physical address for that building. You can identify the building if you want. Now, this is what they sent back again. So let's pay attention to what they sent back and what they focused on with the message, okay, that they sent back. So I'm going to pull that up, and let's discuss that and focus on that.
Okay, we're not done discussing that first one, by the way.
All right, well, we'll go back to it. Let's just look at this first.
You didn't.
All right, we can go back to it. All right. So again, it's the same thing that they did last time. Same message, tax per queue, blah, 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 nonsense, invalid postage. And this is not a tax per queue action.
Right.
With the exact same stamp.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'm open for comments.
Islam.
Go ahead, Empress.
Okay, if we go back to the first, if you can, the first one, you didn't put subject. You also did not put the office of. You've addressed it to, could you blow it up again? You addressed it to Michigan State Treasurer. Who is that?
Rachel Eubanks.
No, it is not.
It was to her attention.
No.
Not Treasury, but it was to her attention.
No.
All right.
No. You are the treasurer. That's why you're supposed to put subject in the office of. So this, again, is where you have made a mistake. Your jurisdiction is all off. That's why they sent it back, because you're trying to send to some dead person.
Yeah. So here is the way that we would do that is we would put Office of Michigan State Treasurer. That would be at the top. That would be the top part. Then underneath that, we would put subject, Rachel Eubanks. Then we would put Michigan Treasury, not Department of. We would just put Michigan Treasury. Then Lansing, Michigan. Lansing, Michigan 48922. That's how we would do that. That is actually the process. That's not just how we would. That's not just our opinion. That's the law. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Okay, so
that's
you have. Okay, so at the very top, you would think that would be or should be properly stated as.
I'm not thinking.
No, I just corrected that. I just corrected it and said it should be what at the very first line again, please.
It should say Office of Michigan State Treasurer.
Okay.
Then underneath that, the word subject.
Right.
Rachel Eubanks.
Gotcha.
And then Michigan Treasury. Not Michigan Department of, it's the Michigan Treasury, and then Lansing, Michigan 48922. That's just for that part. Then there's some other parts that have to be updated on your stamps that you created.
Okay, what's wrong with the stamps? Let's look at that. I'm gonna pull that up and make it bigger.
Can you turn that? Can you turn it so that everybody can see? Yeah, like that. And blow that stamp up a little bit bigger.
Yeah,
there you
rotate it. Yeah.
Yeah, and let us see the whole thing.
That's as much as it'll show on the
way
it was taken.
Okay, well that's the part that has to be corrected as well. Can someone state what the problem is with that stamp? If not, I will.
It doesn't have the government. It says first class United States.
Islam, I see minus signs in there.
It doesn't have the G.
The G10?
Yeah.
And there are minus signs in there. We don't do minus signs. My suggestion is the video that I posted in the link concerning the post office demonstration that Empress Light did. The link is in there to her Google Drive where the those labels are made properly stated. So my suggestion is for everybody to go and get those and properly use those. Please and thank you. Though, Noble, I must say this is a teaching demonstration for everybody to see just exactly how it is that the system is honoring our system. And if it's not done proper, it will reject it. This is a very good teaching tool, and I honor this in that regard because those who come back afterwards will see just how what we stated is exact. For real, for real. This is that part right there. Right here, right there. This is showing how the system is doing what we've commanded. And thank you for that one. Thank you.
Yes, that is.
Someone have the link for that specific one where that was shown again, because I done looked up and found, 5 different, stamps. And I thought this was the last one that I corrected, correctly. Obviously not.
We've only changed the stamp one time. We've only changed them one time.
Well, it seems like we done keep changing it.
Nope. We changed it one time.
It seems like.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Wait a minute. We're not done yet, please.
I know. I'm just saying the point is I want to get it right. That's the point that I'm trying to make.
And we would ask that you go back and look at what we placed on the record regarding this, because see, the one thing that no one has pointed out, but we'll point it out right now. You have here, it says without the United States, when that is not correct. It should be without the U.S.
Okay.
You see?
Without the U.S.
Because on the other side, it says, right, we're spelled all the way out. They are U.S.
Okay.
Because, and that is, I'm so glad that our system is honoring what we say. It really is. It's saying if it's not done the way that we all voted and agreed on, then the system is going to reject it. It's going to do that. So, Noble Phoenix, thank you for affirming that our system is doing what it's supposed to be doing. It really is. It really is.
Does anything else stand out, or is that pretty much it? Just that part?
That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it. And as the Empress has stated earlier, you have 3 minus signs in there. They definitely need to be
3 non-domestic. Okay.
Yeah, they need to be taken out.
Islam, I put the link to specifically that Google Drive concerning the postage labels. It's in the chat for everyone to take and use, please and thank you. And yes, Islam.
They do work.
Islam, Empress.
Islam, I put the address to the Michigan Treasury in the chat for you.
Thank you.
The physical address.
Okay, if you would please, let's see.
Let me pull that up.
No, I'm gonna actually
say no on that one. Is a different address?
I got it.
Well, no, you do as you will, nobility. With regard to that, I was just. Can you send the presentment back?
Yes. Let me do that.
Yes, please.
As soon as it allows.
The labels have the same without the United States on it.
Oh, isn't that?
Actually, it says without U.S. Let me see. It says without the U.S. Yes. And so it reads, first class United States mail, statutory non-domestic, fully prepaid, 12 statute at law, chapter 71, section 23, federal offense to collect additional postage, 18 United States Code 1726, and in parentheses and in quotation marks, in lowercase letters, it reads, without the U.S. and the U.S. is in capital letters. And then that's on the left side.
Oh.
And on the right side, it's in all capital letters. No postage necessary when mailed in the United States.
Correct.
Islam.
Islam, I stand corrected. It showed the other one at first, and I don't know. Then it finally showed the without the U.S. Gratitude, Empress. Islam.
Because it must have been you had the older ones, because previous to this, when Empress Light had did the video, it was the older ones, but that's why it was done in correction and corrected. And so that's why we are emphasizing that everybody go and get the new stated documentation so it could be through the system and honored.
Yeah.
Islam.
And even when we did the first video, the ancestors honored it for years because of our energy. Years we were doing it with the old stamps. And then when it was time, after we had done a few other things and learned a few other processes, like leaning and levying and things of that nature, the ancestors said, now you have to present your own stamp. You must present your own stamp.
Do you have the presenter control back?
I believe I do.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to affirm that.
Thank you, nobility.
Islam.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Islam.
Okay. In respect to the matter of the label, and listening to Empress read off specific detail within that stamp, I have 3 parcels that were returned for postage, and the stamp is exactly as has been read and shared. And so
let us see. Can we see the document? Can we see it?
I don't have a copy of it, but I can show it on the screen, physical.
Okay. Let me present. Should I send presenter over to you, Justice Earl, so you can put it on your screen?
No. I'm just going to turn on my camera, and you'll see the actual, if you can see it clearly.
Okay, if you'll turn on your camera, we'll be glad to look at it. Because I can tell you that, hold it up and just as close as you can get it to what. First, let us see the upper left corner where it's from.
Now, what they pointed out nothing else except postage.
Okay, go over to the postage, and because I can pretty much put it up closely. That one is correct. Let us see where you were sending it to, because that's going to be the problem. Where it was going to is going to be the problem.
You see it?
Yeah, I can see it. Move it over to 640 Security Boulevard. Subject, Kimolo, United States. That looks correct. Everything looks correct. Let us see up in the upper left corner. Once again. Okay. The only thing that I can see is that it says near Lexington, Kentucky. You're not near Lexington, Kentucky. You are at Lexington, Kentucky. You're actually on the land. You're not at state of Kentucky. You're not at city of Lexington. You're not at any of those, and you're not near your land. You're on your land. So take the word near out.
All right. Now I got that. Now it's ironic though, they don't point that out. Of course they won't.
They won't.
And they'll use the postage, which is obviously correct, because that is their greatest request or demand, is that you show proper postage.
Can you turn it over on the other side and let us see it is on the back of that article?
They actually, when they sent it back, they covered it up. So let me see if I can uncover it.
That means that's the problem. For some reason, that means that's probably the issue.
Hold on, let me see if I can peel it. It's very, very sticky. Hold on.
Okay. And let me
Without,
say this too, Morris, about the work that we do. If, and I'm sure we can, but let's just go with that. If, as we're doing this work, it's going to be important that our documents look like they came from the government. That envelope that you're using is also, what size is that envelope that you're using?
It's a
regular
bit
size?
bigger than an 8.5 by 11, so I had to fold the end a little bit to get the contents in.
Okay.
But other than that, it's, you know.
Okay, that looks like the right size. It is going to be important that our documents be done neatly and that they look like they came from the government. They almost have to look computer generated almost, but not really. So like when you see our documents, we print out labels for each one, and all of our labels are the same size and all of that. They're on sticky label paper and things of that nature. Islam, Empress.
Yeah. So my question,
Empress, did you get that email I sent you regarding the taxes? This is Empress Aisha Elbay.
Which email did you send it to, Empress?
I sent it to government, spelled with an E at the end.
I'll have to check and see, Empress.
And I did put attention your name on there.
Okay, Islam. I'll have to look and see. I've been emptying that email as often as I can, but it still just keeps saying it's too full.
Okay.
By thousands.
Thank you. Would you want me to send it someplace else?
If you could send it to lightbaymoorishnation@gmail.com, that would be great.
Thank you.
Islam.
Now I'm going to say the one that I attempted to peel, I can't get it off. It's going to peel the whole thing, but you can't see through it like I can.
Okay.
But it's exactly the same format as the other label. Okay.
So if I might state that the label is too long for that card, for that green card, the label should stop at the line.
Mm-hmm.
You see that green card? You see how your label is going over into the place where they're supposed to sign?
Uh-huh.
So make your fonts smaller when you're doing things like that, so that your label is the size that it should be. Because again, your documents should look like they came from the government instead of like things being over too far and things of that nature. That's another part right there. But the word near is the only thing that I can see there, because that's going to put you in a location that you're not necessarily at.
Now here's a similar one, and I'll show you.
Yeah.
The same
bring that
stamp. The same stamp is there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're requesting postage.
Right.
Okay.
Whenever they find anything wrong, they're going to point to that. Whenever they find anything wrong, they're going to point to that. So even if it has, and it's always going to have to do with location. Whenever they talk about postage, the only time they say something about return for postage is if there's something wrong with the location, either where it's going or where it came from. Let us see the part over in the upper left corner. If I could see the
Islam.
So just one moment, Empress Shasha. Let me put him back on the. So even with this one, Justice Earl, this one doesn't give the city and state. It just gives latitude and longitude, and then you use an abbreviation for the natural area code when it should actually, latitude and longitude should be all the way out if you're going to use it, and then natural area code, that those words should be written out. They should be spelled all the way out instead of abbreviated. Okay. You know, because we stated we don't use abbreviations.
Okay. All right. And then you have, let's see.
Empress Shasha, what? Okay.
Okay. I just was wondering. I know that when on my return, I put the office, being that I'm the CEO or the fiduciary. I put on my return. So, for instance, if you were sending to the United States Social Security Administration, in my return address, I would put United States Social Security Administration, and then fiduciary, trust, or attorney in fact, or chief justice, or so there it's clear that it's going from office, head office, home office to office.
Yeah.
I think that may be along with the NIA, because it's not clear of the status of whom is mailing and where the card is going to go back to, the government. So
that's good.
That piece may make a big difference.
Okay.
It
does. I got that. Here's the last one. I don't think we looked. This is the from, right? So
see, you
same thing.
You have 3 abbreviations on there: LAT, long, and NAC. Those are abbreviations. So, and then you're not near Lexington, Kentucky. You actually are Lexington, Kentucky. You're the land.
Okay. All right. And so this is where it's going to.
Okay. And so where you have where it's going to, Washington District of Columbia should not be in. It shouldn't be in brackets because that's your office. It's a living office, unless this is your first time speaking, sending something to them, right?
It is.
Okay. Have you liened that office?
Okay.
That's the way it would look on a lien, though.
Yes.
Except you don't have any subjects when you're liening. They're not your subject until you lien them, and before that, they're corpses. Okay, so it looks like you have those combined. You have subject and you have a name, but then you have something in brackets that's dead. So you've mixed the two.
Okay. All right.
That's
good advice. That's good pointers. Thank you for that. And I'll be making the changes very soon.
Islam, great to see you as well.
Right back out.
Yes, indeed. Islam.
Islam.
Boy, Islam, Empress Gloria.
I'm not too clear. I would like to be clear on this. We don't use Moorish National Republic Federal Government, like on the left-hand side of the front of the envelope, like I used to do.
You can use that. The specifics are going to be who is it that's speaking from the Moorish National Republic Federal Government? Is it the Attorney General, or are you the Chief Justice? And I use Chief Justice just in general. If I were to use Moorish National Republic Federal Government in the upper left corner, we have because we're speaking commercially, we've been using our creditor United States to speak to the subjects in the office of, because of the commercial aspects of what we're doing. But you can use Moorish National Republic Federal Government. You can, because that's who you are also.
Okay, I used to put my appellation before the Moorish American Consulate, but I stopped because, we're going through the transition. So I was just wondering, do I leave that alone or whatever? But let your spirit guide you, because your spirit probably told you to stop using it for a while. And then your spirit will say, okay, now put this and put this and put this because of this, this, and this. Okay. Your spirit will tell you. Before I let you go, at the bottom, where we don't use the near anymore, and then Dallas, Texas written out. I had Republic on there. I don't need to say Republic anymore.
You don't have to.
Okay. I yield.
No,
thank you.
It's the land, period. No matter what, whether it be the ancient land, because ancient is before the Republic. Oh. You see? Okay. So, yeah. Either one is correct. We just save ink and say, Federal Way, Washington, and spell everything all the way out.
Okay, then the last line, I thought it was done. The last line I got in parentheses, lowercase without the, and then I had uppercase United States, but I don't do that anymore. Just U.S without the U.S on the left-hand side label.
Not on the left-hand side. You don't use any abbreviations with the left-hand side. That's where it's coming from. You don't use any abbreviations. You spell everything out.
Okay. One other thing. Now, Morrisburg Consulate, I use this our post office, and I have a box number. Do I keep that box number? That's the only way they're going to send everything back, correct?
You have to spell out post office box.
I have it spelled out. But I have a CO, so I get rid of the CO, correct?
Right. You don't. Yeah, it's not care of. It's the actual post office box.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
And then we would encourage each one who has questions about that process, go back to that video and just look specifically at how any of the mailing videos, and specifically how we talked about what your addresses should look like. Okay? Because it's going to be the same formula for everyone and everything.
Islam.
Can you open the call for Brother Love, please?
Yeah, and also Brother Justice Howard.
The Congress is open. Islam. So, Moors, we are making lots and lots of progress. The estate is continuing to be opened up. Just one moment. The estate is opening up continuously, and that other thing is closing. The enactment, the funny mirror, is closing. And when it closes, let us just say this, Moors. When it closes, don't panic. Let it go. Let it go, and then listen to the Spirit on what to do. Okay? Because keep in mind, all authority is transferred over to you as that thing is going away. Okay? All authority is being transferred directly to you, into your hands, for you to do with it as you will. Okay? The formula is the same. Proper notification of the parties, and then the processes that we all have voted on and agreed on the public record. Please go look at the fiduciary document. And here's the thing, and I'm going to reaffirm what Empress Angel stated. It's not all just about the money. We have all the money that we will to have. That's not the issue. The issue is, number one, the status, who you are, and then the process according to the system. Status, process, and system, those are the three that go together in order for all that we do to work. Status, who's the head and who's the body. We don't have a tail. Okay? In alignment with what we're doing, we will to have, and we're stating this now, we stated it before, a face-to-face meetup the first week of August 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, coming up. It is important, if you are to attend that meeting, that you begin demonstrating your systems now, okay? And again, we're doing the same thing. We're doing the same thing. We're demonstrating just like everyone else because we must. And so you will be able to make your own hotel reservations and everything, and send ahead the finance for that, because fiduciary money can be used for that in advance as well. Merchant cards can be used for that as well. Checks would actually be the more checks and fiduciary money would be the most expedient way to do it. And having that sent to home office, the originals to home office, the corporate office rather, for that hotel, and then a copy sent to the property that you're going to be at. Okay? And then keep track of everything. And then you may, after a certain time period, start calling to ensure that all of the documentation, the reservation has been received, and so on and so forth. And you must state your own reservation number. Okay, so you give them the reservation number, and that way, when you call for that number, and you say, is this reservation, or not is this reservation, we're calling to affirm this reservation number. Okay, we are calling to affirm this reservation number. What is your name? Okay, so are there any questions, comments, wisdom? Let's do this. Let's do this. We must, because that other thing is done. It's finished. Their goose is cooked. Done. Any questions, comments, wisdom from the Congress?
Islam
nobility.
Yeah, hi, Dave. I have something about the Universal Natural Area Code. Yes. Is that something that we like? Is that number because there's like a number and then there's a few letters and the numbers and a few letters? Is that something that we all utilize as just that one, row of numbers and letters, or is there like a certain, like a specific thing I'm supposed to use for my specific area code? I don't know.
It is specific to the very place that you're standing. So natural area code is done by inches even. The natural area code, let's say for where I am right now, is different from the one in the kitchen or the bedroom or the courtroom or whatever around here. So natural area code is different by inches even. So the earth is mapped out by inches. But it's not necessary for you to have that. If you don't have it or if you can't find it, you can still do your demonstrations. But if you can find it, go ahead and use it.
Okay. I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually about me doing my public notices. So I was doing some research and I was basically seeing that I can do it off social media. So I was thinking start a Facebook page, a TikTok page, and then put in my information there. And then if anybody had like an affidavit publication template, I could use that template with my documents. Is that something that's possible?
Is that something that's possible?
I mean, I think it is possible.
Can you do it?
I think it is. I think I can do it.
I know you can.
I believe. I have faith that I know I can do it. I don't believe I know I can do it.
Now, don't tell me that I know more about you than you know about yourself.
I should ask the question then. Okay, so I guess that's what I will to do.
So now my question to you is this: is there anything too hard about?
Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. I cannot. Oh, this guy.
My question is: is there anything too hard for God?
Never. No.
Boom. That's the answer.
Okay. Okay. So, I'm sorry.
I said it's a wrap then.
No, it's definitely gonna be a wrap. I'm working on that. I need to proofread, and I'm gonna start to put these affidavits together this week. So but does anybody have the affidavit of publication template? I mean, I am studying, so I mean, I would probably have to just like restate one for myself. But if anybody had one already, that would, you know, it would
An
be
affidavit or public statement. What does that say?
Affidavit of publication.
A publication. Yeah. What does that say to you? What would that say? What would it say?
It would say that where my documents are located. It would say the date from the date, I guess a starting day to the I guess not. It would just say the starting date, and then, you know, it's been on my social media site for, let's say, 4 consecutive weeks. And it's a few things. It's fresh still, but I know there is some detail that it has to be structured inside there. So
it sounds to me like you already know what to say, so just create one.
Yes. Islam?
I affirm that part. Islam
To the brother. Let me just say this. I in the old era, I used a publication company that was published in a newspaper. And they do give you an affidavit of publication. But that's from a corporate venue stating that they did it as a notary on your behalf. But you already have notary authority. You have all the other authority. So like the sister said, you just need to create one. You don't need a template per se. But if it will assist you to create one, I don't recommend you using their language. I would recommend you create one from yourself. Okay?
Right.
And if you would like that, then just hit me up with my email. I will share that with you, but you must restate that and create it yourself, is what the Empress is sharing with you. Okay? Peace.
Your spirit will never lead you, will never mislead you. Your spirit will never mislead you. So all the things, and here's the thing, if someone else helped you with it or worked on it with you, it's not going to be as complete as you looking at it and writing it from your spirit, because your spirit is going to check all the boxes that you feel need to be checked in that document. Your spirit is going to tell you. See, other people can give it to you, but then when you look at it, your spirit might say, well, maybe you should put, you know, a mailing location on there, or maybe you should put this on there or that. And when you pull it from yourself, you're going to check all the boxes so that you will know that it's complete when you put it out there. You will know that it's complete.
I affirm that.
Yeah, Islam. No one satisfies our spirit like we do. No one can do that but us. I know that for sure.
That's right. I appreciate you know, the brother Noble Phoenix for the input and just the encouragement. You guys have no idea. This is good stuff. I'm just new, fairly new. I was asleep more, and I'm up now. I'm awake, so I just got a lot of work ahead of me. So it's good though.
Yeah, and you know what? New means ancient for us.
Okay, ancient.
Yeah.
I yield the floor. Thank you.
We just hit the ground running, you know. So we don't even feel new after one day. We're like, okay, we got this. Let's go.
Right. This is good.
So, yeah, it's all good, indeed.
Yeah, indeed. Okay.
Any other questions, comments, wisdom from this great and amazing Congress? We have nothing further at this time to share until our next Congress on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Peace and grand rising to the sovereign, original, indigenous, natural, divine heirs, Islam.
Peace and grand rising.
Islam, peace and grand rising.
Islam, much gratitude for my erudition, much gratitude.
Indeed.
Success.
Peace and grand rising.
Peace and grand rising.
One in mind.
Islam.
Peace and grand rising. Welcome to the esoteric realm.
Yes, indeed. Indeed. Islam. 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 We will adjourn in 5,
4, 3, 2, 1. See you on Thursday. Islam.
Islam.